So welcome guys back to another video in the channel. We're doing another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Now Daily, whatever you want to call it. We are back again after a day off, and we have been gifted. We have been absolutely gifted with a bit of breaking news. Now, the breaking news we have today is that James Maddison, Arsenal have officially bidded for the Leicester City attacking midfielder James Maddison, and big breaking news for you guys. And today we're going to be dissecting what could happen from now. And Arsenal are pursuing a deal for Leicester City's James Maddison as part of Mikel Arteta's rebuild of his squad. The manager is a big admirer of Maddison, who is interested in moving to the Emirates Stadium and believes their playmaker could improve his team in the final third. Arsenal are on the hunt for more creativity, with Martin having returned to Real Madrid after his loan spell, and are exploring where Leicester would be open to selling one of their best players. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal, who have spent £73 million this summer, are capable of affording Maddison unless they raise funds through sales. One player who isn't leaving is Granit Xhaka, who agreed a new contract. We are going to be getting onto that in a second. Leicester, who qualified for Europa League after finishing 5th, are not under pressure to sell, and it's understood that they could demand at least £60 million for the 24-year-old who has 3 years left on his contract. Arsenal could look to sweeten the deal with players like Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Reiss Nelson being offered as part of a part exchange. Now, the bid that Arsenal presented to Leicester City, which has been rejected, is £40 million plus Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That has been rejected and turned down by Leicester City, which is the Player+Cash bid that Arsenal presented to Leicester City at the start of this week, and that has been officially rejected by Leicester City. Arsenal have made James Maddison their number one priority this summer for the attacking midfielder spot. Personal terms have been agreed for close to £200,000 a week. That was done a few weeks ago. Maddison is open to the move to Arsenal. His dad is understood to be an Arsenal fan and is pushing for Maddison to move to the Emirates. Leicester City would be open to selling James Maddison because they feel that, if the right price is achieved, because Rodgers and Maddison have had a bit of a rift recently, they would be open to letting Maddison go. And obviously, as we know in the past, Leicester have let go of their big talents for big money. Harry Maguire, Riyad Mahrez being among those players that Leicester have let go for big money because big money bids have come in, and James Maddison could be the next one on that list. Now, what we're going to do now is I've got a clip from a Leicester City fan, obviously Nandez one, who have you guys met. Many of you guys have seen him on the channel, live streams and videos, etc. We're going to be talking to he's going to be giving us the Leicester point of view on James Maddison. And what do they think? What do the Leicester fans think on James Maddison on a potential bid for him? So let's get straight into this one and let's see what he has to say.
Hello guys, I'm the Leicester City fan who has been enlisted to talk to you guys about Arsenal's bid on James Maddison. Now, for me, I'm going to start off with the backgrounds, and I think for me, James Maddison is one player that has been an integral part for us for the past few seasons, without a doubt. We signed him from Norwich, and he's an interesting one overall. Now, for me, I think on a whole, this deal has been very slept on by Leicester City fans, and I'm going to say that I was one of them. I really think this was more of a dream, more of a fantasy. We saw what happened with Jack Grealish and many other players, and the bid just not happening. But it does look like this one could finally materialise as a deal. I know Arsenal are big admirers. They are looking for a central attacking mid. They're ongoing, doing a different project at the club. Looking at the bid now, completely stupid. I think for me, 40 million and a player plus deal with players, fringe players like Reiss Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Joe Willock. Joe Willock I would probably take. He's a quality player, quality talent, or even Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Again, an interesting one on the ball. But the other two, I would just hate to take it. It would be horrible if Leicester City would take it. I think if Leicester City and Arsenal want a deal done, it's going to be a big one for Leicester City. We know how to do it. We sold Harry Maguire for a substantial amount. We've got the English tax as well. And I think for us and what's happening with Norwich for that deal, we're going to be asking for quite a lot. I think it'll take 2 or 3 bids to get this deal done.
So that was Nandez one speaking about James Maddison and a potential bid for him. Now, as you guys may have heard from his speaking, that if the right prices come in, they would be open to selling. And he did suggest that Leicester would probably want Joe Willock. However, they were interested in Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So it'd be very interesting to see what Leicester City would accept for James Maddison. As it stands, they would possibly accept a Player+Cash bid, but it'd be interesting to see what would happen in that respect. But Moving on, the next player. Oh my days! I did not put this guy in the title because I just did not want to, and that is Granit flipping Xhaka. Oh my days! We talked about last few days that he was close to signing a new deal. Now this has been agreed. It's signed on the pen and paper, and it's done. Granit Xhaka is signing a new deal with Arsenal, and this is just pending an official announcement now. Oh my days. How has this even happened? Like, how? This guy was off the Roma and now. Xhaka. I just won't bother watching football matches with this guy next season. I just can't be arsed with this guy anymore. And it's absolute bollocks. I'm not going to lie to you. It's absolute bollocks. And I do not want this guy anywhere near this team. Just hope he gets injured. Just hope all the fans boom so he flips off somewhere. Just hope something happens. Just get sent off on the first day of the season. So you're out for 3 games. Sambi comes in and he does amazing. Or just please something. Because this guy really does my nut in. Really does, and I have an agenda against him. I don't care what anyone says. You do not flirt with Roma move. You do not tell the fans to F off. You do not act like an arrogant prick after you've hit one good game, after you've had one good game after every 6 months. Doesn't deserve a new deal. That is the club's fault, because this isn't Xhaka's fault. This is the club's fault for allowing this to happen, and the fans for allowing this to happen. How is this happening? His new deal is going to be up to 2025. It's going to be a slight increase in pay rise, and it's going to be a new 4-year contract, which is a 2-year extension on the one he's already on because he's on 2 years left. Roma made a bid of £15 million, which was an all-inclusive package, which was €12 million plus €3 million in add-ons. Arsenal said no. Well, let's be real, that's 15 million more than he's actually worth, so we should have snapped their hands off and just took the money and told him to F off, like he did to us. Threw the captain's armband on the floor and he's signing a new deal. What's going on here? I'm so confused. But I'm done. I'm just flip off. More positive news now. We're going to be talking about Lautaro Martinez. Now, obviously, you know, he is Arsenal at the moment. He is Arsenal's number one priority for that striker position. Whether we will be moving for him is another question. Now, this does rely on the moves on who? Lacazette, because Atletico Madrid are heavily interested. Let's see if that materializes or not. It will be very interesting to see if that does. Also, Chelsea have bid for Romelu Lukaku. Now, that does mean that does affect this deal because Inter don't want to get rid of both of them. And Inter would be more willing to get rid of Martinez than Lukaku because Lukaku is the better player at Inter Milan at the moment. Obviously, Lautaro is the up and coming one, but Lukaku's the proven one, and Inter want to keep him. And the only way Inter could keep Lukaku if they sell Martinez, because obviously they'd have the money and be afford to keep him. Lukaku is open to the move. But obviously nothing's agreed yet. I think £100 million bid was turned down, which is crazy. And Arsenal do need to stump up the cash for Martinez quick, because if Chelsea move for Lukaku, there's no way Inter are selling Martinez as well, and then our hopes will be dashed completely. As of right now, there are still no talks between Arsenal and Inter Milan for Lautaro Martinez. That may change in the next 24 to 48 hours. Arsenal are still at the moment prioritising James Maddison as the first priority, and then we might look at Lautaro Martinez pending other sales, because we do need to get rid of players. We've got so many players we need to get rid of. We need to start getting rid of players, and that is the news on Lautaro Martinez. We need to act quickly. It is a huge update because Chelsea are going for Lukaku, and we need to move quicker than them, but we're not because we're a banter club. Moving on, last one I want to talk about just quickly is Joe Willock. Now, we've not really talked about him a lot, and Newcastle have been linked with him a lot recently. Monaco have held an interest as well. Arsenal reportedly looking at this either of two ways. They're saying, look, you either loan up with an obligation to buy it or sell him. Arsenal don't want a straight loan. They want to get some sort of money at the end of his loan deal. Arsenal value him at around £25 million, and Newcastle want him. Steve Bruce has spoken openly for him and suggested they can't wait forever, which means they have some sort of deadline for Willock to sign for Arsenal, otherwise they'll move for someone else. Aaron Ramsey has been linked to Newcastle recently as well. So it's quite an interesting situation with Joe Willock, whether he will stay at Arsenal and fight for his place. It depends, to be honest, because it depends on the players we get in that midfield spot and whether he can be able to challenge for a spot in the starting 11. And remember, we don't have Euro Europe, so we don't need as much squad depth. And yeah, the cups, I guess, but you don't need loads of depth, do you? We're going to be playing the same amount of games as a Brentford or a Watford or something, so we don't need loads and loads of depth. So maybe better if we sell Willock, go put that money towards Noah, go put it towards Maddison, etc. So that is the news on Joe Willock, and that is it for today's Arsenal Transfer News Daily. If you haven't enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.